Who would have known that little Azah, who sat and stared at the wall, in the beginning of the season, would be at the final three?
How are you feeling right now?
Thank you. Of course, there's going to be that disappointment. But I am really honestly extremely blessed to place in third. For someone who wasn't able to win competitions until more to the end of the game and had honestly some doubts in their gameplay at times, I'm really proud of myself. And I'm honestly really happy and proud for the winner. He played a great game.
Yeah, I want to ask you, was there any way that you were going to vote for Derek, or did X have it in the bag for you?
If you would ask me up until a week ago, I would have probably voted for Big D because that's my best friend. But in the past week, I started really thinking about a lot of things. With this being such a historical season, really looking at all the different encompassing things of what makes a winner. And I did feel that X fit that very well, which is why I did end up voting for him.
How do you think you would have fared against X if you had gone to the end with him?
That's interesting. I had Hannah, Claire, Tiffany, and DX telling me, oh my gosh, I wish you were there. I would have voted for you. So, that's 4 votes, which would have been interesting. I think just based off of social relationships, I did have some great social relationships in the house that I think based off of how I answered my questions might have done well for me. But I'm just honestly really, really happy with the winner. I'm happy that we all were able to achieve what we did. And hindsight is always 20/20. I think about, okay, I missed one question and maybe that would have made the difference. But at the end of the day, I have to really accept this amazing opportunity for what it is. Who would have known that little Azah, who sat and stared at the wall, in the beginning of the season, would be at the final three?
I know you talked about Big D in the last week. You guys definitely you were at odds. He kind of, mentioned a few times that he felt like he carried you through the game, which kind of undermines what you did in the cookout. Do you think that was fair for him to say? Do you think that's even true?
I think, when those discussions happened, at first I, just said, okay, you're free to have your opinion. But I did feel it was necessary for me to stand up for myself, and I did. He did later apologize for the things that he said regarding that. I will say that the way that house is and the pressure cooker that it is, with the things that you do in the game and you having no idea what the other person is doing, you could have a skewed perception of that person. So I'm going to give grace to that. The other thing I'm going to say is, on a personal level, me and Big D, that's someone who I know I'll be friends with in and outside this house. So while I know we did have our differences in the final week regarding gameplay and things, I know everything that I did. I had my final 2 speech ready because I knew what I had done to prepare and bring myself to the final 3. When I walked in this house, I knew I was going to get final 3, and I did everything I could in my power to get those steps necessary. So I feel that my actions, as they're on the live feeds and can be seen, can show the steps that I made to get there. And I feel like I did deserve the spot, just as every other single member of the cookout that got to final 6.
Don't worry. Most people agree with you. And Derek just talked, we just talked, and he did say the same thing. You guys are going to be fine outside the house, I'm sure. The cookout is clearly the most successful alliance in BB history. I just want to know kind of what that means to you and having a first Black winner.
And it's incredible. I'm a fan of this show. When you hear about things like the brigade, you hear about the friendship, you hear about level 6, and you always hear that, they broke off after a little bit. But for all 6 of us to stick together despite our ups and downs with each other is just incredible. And when I got to 6, I was at such peace because I told myself, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens here. I don't care if someone backstabs me. I don't care if someone does anything. We made it. This is pretty darn crazy. To have an African-American winner, and honestly, a really great representative, is a beautiful thing. And I'm so blessed to have been a part of this. I still say this every time, how God picked this random girl from Tacoma Park, Maryland, and plucked her into this house. and somehow was a part of a historical moment is very humbling to me. And I'm just blessed and very happy.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Thank you.
But you have to settle something for me because there's been some debate. Who started the cookout?
I'm going to say Xavier did start the cookout. I feel Xavier started the cookout. I know that when the person who approached me was Derek F. And he said, us POCs got to be together, got to come together. They both came with the notion of wanting POCs to work together. Xavier came up with the name. But how a lot of people had approached in the first week was, all right, you got my back, I got yours, we're cool. How it evolved into this actual alliance was, and strategic gameplay was, I feel a joint part from both Xavier and Big D. But I guess we'll have to watch the tapes to see how it started. But I remember when I was approached in the kitchen, it was something that was, Xavier said, this is what I want to do when I came in. I wanted to make this alliance and I wanted to make it called the Cookout. I know Big D said, us POCs got to work together. So it feels like Xavier to me, but I don't know.
There's a lot of different stories going around, but we'll figure it out. I think the move that people questioned the most when it came to you was that move to get rid of Hannah. Can you talk to me a little bit about that move? Do you think it was the right move still at the time?
I think it was the right move at the time. When I played my game, I kind of dug myself a hole and had to stay with it. So the game I played was be as honest as possible. Don't break on any deals. Right before 6, Kyland approached me and said, I'm not going to touch you. Can you not touch me till 4? And I had to keep up with that agreement. And then I had a final 3 with Big D and Xavier. That left nobody but Hannah for me to go after, unfortunately. And as a result, just of process of elimination, she had to go. If I did not have that final 4 with Kyland, I would have gone for him and made sure he got out. Even with him winning the veto, I would have been like, yo, we got to figure this out and get him out. But unfortunately, Hannah was just a casualty of war. I was very loyal to Big D and Xavier for the deal that I made. And I don't like to make conflicting deals. If I sign up for a deal, then I'm writing that deal. And even with me and Kylan having our differences, I want to honor that too. What I do regret is lying to Hannah about it. I should have been upfront and honest with her. And I think that left a mark in my gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a lot happening at one time, so I get it. I know you have to run soon. I do want to know, if asked, are you interested in playing Big Brother again?
Oh man, this was a great once in a lifetime chance. I'm gonna have to say, I don't know right now. It's so funny. In the house, I said, not coming back. This is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. But it's like an addiction. Like I got third and I'm like, man, I want to go back and see if I would win. So definitely not for some time, but possibly if the call came, I would consider it. I'd take some time to consider it.